Text 2,
two canisters on the
The
left.
Wheel, by the
The
teacher,
voice spoke with me from
Lee.
the eyes.
Prophecy.
Remember, I never see the face. The voice that spoke with me were like the 7 lights that I saw at the age of 7 years old. When I turned to see who saved me from getting run over by that car and those drunkards, when I found the $5, these were those smiling eyes that I told you I saw at 7. Now remember now, at this time in the vision, I'm over 45. So now, let's continue. And I will interpret it as I go, what I'm seeing. And I say this, take hold that you understand, listener, what I say. My dreams and my visions are true. None shall come back void of what I say to the listeners of my words on these DVDs. I am Lee, the teacher. I prayed for the Comforter, and it came to me and still does, and I am locked in Ezekiel chapter 33. When I'm shown a thing, my talent, I won't hide it, or I'll lose my life. I will spread my talent and try to save my life. And this is why I show you my dream as Daniel and Joseph that was taken into captivity in Egypt, sold into captivity. I as them and I as Ezekiel am showing you the interpretation of prophecy. Now, getting back to the 2 canisters on the left, I was not allowed to go into those canisters, but I was allowed to understand what those canisters were. And I was explained and told this way. It was placed into my head. Those canisters are where the evil and the dead go. They will be cast once the completion of the writing and the library is full, and there's no more room in the book of life, in that library on the right, in those canisters. The wicked shall go to the left in those canisters and be rolled up like a scroll and thrown into outer darkness. Every soul that was evil and blasphemed the word of Adonai would be placed in those canisters and rolled up like a scroll and thrown into complete outer darkness, never to be found again.
This is a black hole.
Now, after I was shown this, I was placed gently back onto this path in this valley, which was the world. And I was in the midst of the valley on this road. And all of a sudden, after being shown these things, I noticed that there was a wheel. Oh no, excuse me. At this time I wondered, when I looked up, I saw this wheel inside of a wheel, and I saw this rod coming from this craft into this center wheel, which turned the outer wheel of this craft. But yet still it had no motor, but the wheels were turning. The inner wheel turned to the right, and the outer wheel with teeth connected to the inner wheel was turning to the left. I said to myself, when that voice of the angel of these eyes knew that, I said, this is impossible. How can a gear on an inner wheel with teeth connected to the outer wheel with teeth, how can it turn to the right and the outer wheel is turning to the left when they're connected together? This was impossible. I said, this can't be done this way. Not with 2 wheels. And I also wondered at the same time, how is this craft moving with such accurate speed? I said, how are you moving with no motor, and how is that rod that's connected to this craft and connected to those wheels which make you go forward? I asked this angel, this voice that showed me these things of these eyes, how is this possible that this rod can turn when it's not even touching the craft? and it's in the center of the inner wheel, turning it to the right. And how is it possible that the outer wheel is turning to the left, but yet still is pushing the craft? And then I was shown something, and I was understanding the power of God when the eye and the voice of those eyes explained to me, placing it in my head this way. The rod, remember I told you about the lightning rod in the cloud of my mother? That was a rod too. Now this rod that was turning the wheel, pushing the craft, this rod is what makes this craft go. I said, and I asked the voice, how does it make it go with no motor? And it explained to me by word. I say, by word, by the word of the 7 eyes which control this craft. By their power, the rod makes this craft goes. The power was in the rod. And I said, what be the rod? The rod is the word of Adonai. All the power is in the rod of Adonai. And it makes the wheels turn. And there was more to come. I said, well, let me ask this, all power. I stated, all power. Answer me this. What make the power of that outer wheel turn left different from the inner wheel connected with the outer wheel turn right? How is this possible? And what be these teeth? I asked him, why are these teeth connected? They seem to be fighting against each other. One's trying to go left, and one wheel is going right. How is this possible? And then the voice made me see and understand what I was being shown. The inner wheel and the teeth were the people that were going to heaven, that would be with God. The outer wheel was struggling against going. They wanted to go to the wheel of the left, which was the wrong way. They wanted, their wheel was go the wrong way. The inner wheel was, and the teeth were of people, wanted to go the right way. And their power was given to them by the power of that rod. And sooner or later, that wheel and those 2 canisters on the left of that craft would be mingled and thrown into outer darkness forever and ever, never to be found again. And I was devastated. I was shown the power that there was nothing impossible with the word of Adonai, and that he is the rod of salvation, he is the rod of truth. And again, while I stood there, after being shown and explained what the craft was, who it was, who owned those eyes, they never tired, day or night. They never got tired. They saw, and gathered, rode, and place. Book of life in the right, the book of everlasting damnation in the canisters on the left. This is what I was allowed to see that would happen. And it's true. Hear my sayings. My dreams are true, listeners. They are true, and you will see them before you go. That I don't lie. I speak with manner. Now, while standing there, I understood the vision.
This ends text 2 of my dream of the wheel. I'm Lee the teacher, and all those who don't believe in dreams, take hold. Starting with Barack Obama, you will see that I do not lie. Barack Obama is not a god, but a messenger to America and the free world, that you had better wake the hell up. Barack is the person blown by the wind out of the north of heaven, meaning his spirit from his father, to show America their wrongs, their hatred, their wickedness, and their cunningness. And it all started coming out the day that he said he would seek the presidency of the United States.